If you're a game developer who's working on a game on the side, it might feel like adult life just gets in the way. Maybe you have a job so you can buy groceries and pay rent, or maybe you have relationships that you need to maintain. You might see some of the awesome stuff that people post on the Unity 3D subreddit and think, man, that is so awesome, I want to do that. I want to be that person making that awesome looking game. But more often than not, you're flat out too tired to do game development after a long day at work. If you empathize with that situation, know that I do too. I work full-time as a software engineer, and while I've made a bunch of wacky game prototypes over the years, particularly in Pico 8, as you can see in the video, none of them ever got off the ground. It took me years to figure out how to successfully scope and finish projects. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This past Wednesday, I silently fulfilled a lifelong goal. I released my first completed game ever, called Pocket Pong AR, to the iOS App Store. No, it's not the best game in the world, nor will it win any awards, but I made it myself. I did the game design, I prototyped the game mechanics, I tweaked things when it didn't feel right, I designed the user experience flows, I did all the programming work, and I uploaded the game to the App Store, and I created the landing page. But most importantly, I saw the game through to completion. And in the rest of this video, you'll learn the 3 skills that I took away from my experience, so that you can take your game projects to the finish line too. Number 1, you need a plan. So at the core of any large project, be it making a movie or writing a novel or building a house, or publishing a blog post or making a YouTube video, there's a process that is carried out in order to achieve the end result, some kind of plan. As such, you should define what the plan looks like for your end result, which is shipping a video game, because without one, you'll very likely fail. They say your first 10 games will suck, and it's because of this reason. My own plan was only a wild guess because I had never finished a game before. I didn't have a solid reference point for how things would go. In practice, it turned out that some parts of my plan were more important than others. Number 1, your game's hook must catch your audience's attention, otherwise no one will play it. Number 2, things are going to change rapidly, so you should build a prototype as soon as possible. Number 3, GIFs are a great way to gather feedback from people on social media. And number 4, polishing what you have is way more important than adding more content to your game. But that's all okay, because what's important is that you have an initial plan at all, and that you're open-minded enough to change your plan as you gain more experience. In some ways, game development is actually the skill of understanding what plan yields the best game, which is a skill that you kind of obtain through experience. Number 2, build your productivity engine. So now that you understand the map of what you need to do, you just need to do the work. But making a game is a lot of work, and like any large task, it's best to pace yourself, set achievable milestones, and celebrate your small victories to have the best time. In his post-mortem talk about how the game A Short Hike was developed, Adam Robinson Yu mentions that he employs a lightweight version of Scrum during the game's development. But what is Scrum? Scrum is a mental framework for organizing your work so that you not only get stuff done, but you also get the most valuable stuff done for your players. In practice, what I got from Scrum is that the idea of a weekly sprint helped focus my efforts over the course of a week, whereas the act of estimating tasks and breaking them apart into weeks helped set expectations for how long something would take. Maintaining a task log helped break large chunks of work into bite-sized achievable tasks, and creating a morning routine of getting straight to work helped me reliably complete tasks over a long period of time, because when you work full-time already, your time is already at a premium. As such, you need to focus, scope right, relentlessly break work down into bite-sized tasks, and create a rock-solid habit of getting things done. If you can master those 4 skills, you can make effective, consistent progress on your game, and even be happy with your productive output. Which leads to my third point: find intrinsic motivation in your work. Breaking your project into bite-sized tasks is great, but what if you start procrastinating on those tasks? What if those tasks are actually kinda boring? The solution is to find the intrinsic joy in your work. And I'm not just channeling my inner Marie Kondo here. Look for the activities in your project that give you a dopamine hit. That might be checking off tasks, or maybe fixing a tough-to-crack bug, or automating your workflow with a script, or maybe it's perfecting game design values in your game. During the development of Pocket Pong AR, I found that it was most motivating to work on game juice. When I added sounds and made things squish and pop, it started to feel like my game was coming to life. And nothing is more satisfying than seeing something come to life. Additionally, with enough game juice, you can start to record GIFs of your game to share on social media. And if your GIF is good and gets likes, that external approval serves as further motivation to keep working on your game. At the end of the day, game development is kind of a grind, but making the activity of game development innately rewarding ensures that you'll have no trouble getting straight to work. Which leads to my final point: make it sustainable. It can't be stated enough, but you should just take care of yourself. You should eat right, go outside, do stuff with friends, and take breaks from computers every now and then. And unless you can afford it, don't quit your job to work on your dream indie game, because you don't want the dread of financial instability hanging over your head. Make game development a sustainable habit, because you'll find that shipping a game, while fantastic, is only momentarily satisfying. And heck, a game is never really finished because there's always more bugs to fix and more features to add. I think it's way more satisfying to look back and reflect on how much you've grown as a game developer, and maybe to look forward with optimism because your next game is going to be way better than the one you're currently working on. It's kind of a cliche, but it's always about the journey and not the destination. Hey YouTube, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for any future videos about game development. Alright, until next time.